Biden punches left again. Reporters asked Joe Biden Monday how he would make inroads with voters scared off by socialism. Quote, "I beat the socialist," Biden replied. "Look at my career. I am not a socialist," he said. "Okay, Joe, look at your career. Support for foreign wars that destroy civilians' lives and fatten military budgets. Construction of the carceral state. Refusal to advocate for Medicare for all, an affordable vaccine during a pandemic. My view is Biden's making the perfect case for socialism. The flaws of capitalism have given us understaffed and poorly supplied hospitals, unaffordable housing, and unsustainable industry. We clearly need something better. Socialism, by placing production in the hands of the workers and ensuring a strong net of resources for all, will address our out-of-whack priorities. Now, we can't stop conservatives from yelling and from calling everyone left of Ted Cruz a socialist. They're doing it to Biden right now. But instead of playing along, Biden could begin uniting the party just by fighting the trope. And we can control our narrative by showing the public that a vote for socialism is a vote for a stable present and a sustainable future. Establishment Democrats should stop proudly declaring themselves anti-socialists. We need to make that a move nobody wants to make. It's the ideas of socialism that make this a big tent. So we have to remember that. We cannot respond to the conservatives' attacks. We have to embrace our people so we have that excitement around the ideas to win this election against fascism. This really got under my skin because, as we mentioned at the top, Biden has taken us for granted. And so I just want to end with this because I know a lot of us are really angry right now at Joe Biden at a moment when we really should be organizing and in lockstep, and he should be really giving us the respect needed. I know it's tough. I'm getting attacked online from every angle, and I know a lot of other hosts are getting the same from every angle. We're going to talk about that today on the show because this is a very tough moment. We have tough decisions to make. We have to swallow our pride because there's really only one lane to defeat fascism. And when Joe Biden comes out, whether he meant to or not, and insults Bernie and socialism, it's not the best strategy for him. But we have to overlook that because we shouldn't have to depend on Joe Biden to fight fascism. It's really going to be a group effort. So instead of thinking we are voting for Joe Biden or the neoliberals, this is really about us voting against fascism so that we can effectively take over the party and take over the future of this country. It is going to be easier for us to take over the neoliberal party if we take on fascism first, to actually kill the Republican Party. Then those neoliberals can move over to whatever party they want to go to. But we have time on our side, meaning we are the demographics. The future of this country, those under the age of 40, are overwhelmingly progressive. They're overwhelmingly organized and diverse. And it's really widespread throughout this country. So they see the wave that's coming. And that's why they don't know how to respond. And that's why they cannot reject their worst instincts and focus on the prize, which is defeating fascism with a big tent. So every time they make a move like that, just remember, we are not doing this because we like Joe Biden. We are doing this because the first step to taking over the party for real, and I say this in all honesty, is to take out Donald Trump. We're not going to be able to protest. We're already seeing it. If Donald Trump continues to clamp down on protesters and use the Justice Department and use the militarized police state to take us out. There's nothing more than neoliberals want than to get rid of these activists that are pressuring them. So it's a tough moment. I hear you guys. I'm watching you online. Unfortunately, we lost the primary. And I think this is why it's really important for us to channel our energy into these local races because they are dependent. I know there are a lot of progressives who won their primaries and who are facing Republicans in in Long Island, in rural communities, and they are really depending on a presidential election to move voters to the polls so that they vote for them. So, remember, this isn't just about Joe Biden. This is about something much, much bigger, from local all the way to fighting and changing the course of history. Next up, Trump's austerity by red tape is starving children in the richest country on earth. Earlier this year, the federal government began a benefits program to provide groceries to families whose students normally depend on free or subsidized school meals. Because the pandemic has forced many schools online, many students across the country are facing food insecurity. The Agricultural Department has issued new regulations for the new school year, and predictably, they are using the regs to pressure schools to have in-person classes. Moreover, they have set a timeline, a very tight timeline to apply. The window for applying is too small, according to administrators. Not a good look for America, as rates of childhood hunger reach a peak compared to the last few decades, which were already at a peak. Last up, a big good news, a big step for ranked choice voting. Maine will be moving forward with ranked choice voting for the November presidential election between Trump and Biden. This follows a decision from the state Supreme Court to reject a Republican challenge to the voting method. Now, voters will have the opportunity to rank preferences in order to make sure that their second choice gains consideration and if the first choice is not viable. In other words, you can vote Green and then vote Biden. Get why the Republicans don't like it? Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.